What's going on, gents? It's R.P.M. here, reporting from Mobile Command. Gentlemen, do not be surprised when more content creators talk about this particular article. As Joker recently did a video about it, Obsidian did a live stream about it, and of course, I'm going to give my opinion on this article. Ladies, if you happen to come across this video, my opinion is going to be painful. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be the equivalent of a Farouk spine buster. Because when I saw this article and I read it, the first thing I said was, damn! Now, this article was published on the 26th of January. Does it really empower women to expect them to make the first move? Heterosexual dating conventions have long held that men make the first move. First to flirt. First to ask a woman out on a date. First to propose. And I'm going to add another first. First to be rejected. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, there's a particular type of rejection that typically a lot of Black women have practiced, and it's called nuclear rejection. It's a rejection that they practice. Well, let me go ahead and amend that. A lot of women across the board now practice, where they make sure that the rejection is in public. And it is so embarrassing. It is so humiliating. It is meant to literally crush the man's soul who actually shot his shot. And trust and believe, a lot of women, especially nowadays, across the board, they get a kick out of rejecting men. What if the roles were reversed? That's what one dating app, Bumble, has tried to do. Bumble brands itself as a quote-unquote feminist dating app that's designed to empower women. What self-respecting man would be on this dating app that is for feminists? Inquiring minds would love to know. According to Bumble's website, the app was developed to quote-unquote challenge the antiquated rules of dating by requiring those who identify as women to initiate communication with men they match with. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good because trust and believe, gentlemen, I'm going to sum this up in two simple words at the end. With over 100 million users as of 2020, Bumble is one of the most popular dating apps on the market. And in interviews I conducted with over 100 people about online dating in my quote-unquote connecting digitally study, more than half reported using Bumble. But my research shows that Bumble, despite purporting to empower women, leaves many female users feeling frustrated and vulnerable. Gentlemen, break out your world's smallest violin, because trust and believe, the suffering is about to be brought to the forefront. Oh, this is going to be very thirst quenching. This disconnect can be linked in part to the ways in which many men engage with online dating apps. The projection is going to be dialed up to a 15. When a match is meaningless, Bumble's attempts at quote unquote leveling the playing field and changing the dynamics of dating and empowering women to connect with confidence makes sense in theory, but not in practice. Women in my study reported a number of counterproductive user practices based on their own swiping experiences and conversations with male Bumble users. A 39-year-old female participant in my study described the frustration of making the first move and not getting any response. How many men, ever since the invention of dating apps and dating websites, have experienced the exact same thing? They match with a woman, they send her a hey, how you doing? They shoot their shot, and the woman completely blows them off. But you know what men are told? Suck it up, keep going. However, now that this is affecting women, we have to stop the planet and figure out what the problem is. Instead of telling the woman, maybe the problem is you. Quote unquote. So then all of a sudden, you're a match, but they would never say anything or respond to you. You wouldn't hear from them. What's the point? Why even bother? Welcome to the world of dating as a man. And not just any man, the average man. Because trust and believe, I guarantee you, women like this who are pissed off, they're pissed off because the men that they want don't want them. Rather than evaluating profiles carefully and swiping yes on women they're serious about, men are often likely to swipe right based only on the profile photo. Now, mind you, I can't remember exactly who did this, but there was a group who actually put up a series of profile photos of men who identified as criminals, and women still wanted to get with them. As a matter of fact, let's bring out a name from the past: Jeremy Meeks. That's all that needs to be said about that one. In addition, many men approach online dating as a numbers game and practice what some call power swiping or shotgun swiping by saying yes to everyone and seeing who shows interest and matches with them. Many of them will only read a woman's profile information after matching. Lastly, because some men are just swiping for the ego boost of likes, they'll simply delete the match rather than respond to a woman's invitation to chat. Did I not recently say this? How many women are on online dating and dating apps just to get their attention fix? Some of these women are actually in full blown relationships. Hell, some of these women are even married. But guess what? Their lust for attention overrides their sense of logic and reasoning. But anyway, ladies, how do you like that shoe being on the other foot for now? Oh, let the suffering begin. Women in my study often pointed out that a match was far from a guarantee of mutual interest. Now, that word right there, that single word, guarantee, is what these women on Bumble are aiming for. Now, let me explain. They want a 100% success rate that has been sold to them as a bill of goods by them actually being on these dating apps, especially Bumble. However, what these women fail to understand is what all men who are on these dating apps do understand. Just because you shoot your shot, that does not guarantee that the person that you're shooting your shot at is going to be interested in you. Period. Point blank. Women on Bumble, you better start learning. Anyway, unfortunately, due to the quote unquote gamification of dating. Oh, that's a good one. Gamification. Wow. Just wow. The way the apps are designed are to be engaging and addictive. Mindless swiping is a common phenomenon across all dating apps, not just Bumble. Communication and power. What is this obsession with power? For decades, language scholars have been researching how people connect or fail to connect in conversation. We say that the person speaking, quote unquote, holds the floor and that they can wield power through choosing the topic, talking for longer periods of time, and steering the conversation in certain directions. Uh-oh, it seems that the meat wagon is rolling. Someone's having a bad day. Oh well, it is what it is. However, not all power is maintained through holding the floor. Not taking up a speaker's topic in conversation, either by changing the topic or ignoring the question altogether, is another way to exercise power. Now, how can we translate that into simple layman's terms? When it comes to women, well, sounds like someone's been let off. Once again, it is what it is. Now, when we talk about women and topics of conversation and communication, what is one of their favorite strategies? Deflection. Especially when men make logical arguments, the first thing that they want to do, they want to change the subject. They want to deflect. And they never want to give you a direct answer. Mm-hmm. But anyway, in other words, in any conversation, it takes two to tango. As the authors of a study on email communication and response times put it, quote unquote, failure to respond to any, or should I say, to quote unquote, take the floor, creates a breakdown. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go ahead and skip down to another part of this article. Switching roles doesn't solve the problem. On a positive note, Bumble has become a catalyst for conversations about gender, power, and communication in online dating. Gentlemen, why even bother with online dating to begin with? We all know what it truly entails. It's nothing more than an ego boost, especially for women on regular dating apps. But anyway, and while many may not be ready for women to make the first move, of course not, especially with this article. Why? Because women hate rejection. And a lot of these women on Bumble are experiencing rejection for the first time, and it is flipping their brain pan. It is frying their synapses. They don't know how to handle it. Most of the male and female Bumble users in my study noted that they chose the app precisely because of its philosophy of empowering women. To me, this speaks to the fact that people are ready to embrace Bumble's goal of quote unquote shaking up outdated gender norms. Blah, 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 blah. A 37-year-old female participant in my study thought the app's emphasis on gender was artificial and constrictive. Oh, they're going through all of the things. Now, they mentioned some men who actually sued Bumble because they branded it as sexist. Now, I understand why they made that lawsuit. Because think about it. Every place that men had that was men only and exclusive, has been what? Infiltrated and gutted from the inside out. Why? Because women said, we want to be part of it too. Now, despite the fact that there are so many female only spaces, i.e., a gym named Curves out here in California, despite it being female only, women still go to regular gyms. Why? Because they want that male attention, which they don't get in female only gyms. But yet, you don't see men going to these places and saying, hey, we want to be included too. Even though, in my humble opinion, I think men should start suing these places and use the same weapons that women have used against us. We want to be included too. But anyway, men have traditionally done more of this work. Many of them don't exactly cherish initiating conversations with countless strangers, a process that's rife with anxiety and rejection. Yeah. However, the two words that I'm going to use to describe this entire article: sour grapes. Yes, women who are using Bumble have experienced what men experience every day, and it's called rejection. Now they don't like it. Now we need to change the system. Let me close out by saying this. I don't remember who exactly posted this comment, but it is genius. The fastest way to make a woman unhappy is to give her everything she wants. Period. Point blank. Because what do women truly want? More. Give them everything, they want more. Women are an insatiable hole that can never be filled. Seriously, trying to make a woman happy is like trying to run hot water through a strainer and expecting it to fill. Now, there is a way you can hack that by actually freezing the water, which is why I said hot water. But anyway, read the rest of the article. Let me know what you guys think. And ladies, particularly you ladies who are starting to shoot your shots, the power will eventually go out. Feminism and the idea that you are guaranteed to get the man that you want will go out right along with it. Because you're going to discover, just like every man who is still on the dating scene has discovered, just because you're interested in a person, you have no guarantee that that person is going to be interested in you. So, yes, ladies, get ready for rejection. That's all I got to say for this one. R.P.M. I am